Hi everybody, welcome back. So the other day I was talking to my roommate slash best friend Alex. He has a YouTube channel. It's Truth Is Love 2012. Anyway, so we were talking about um, uh, like how we communicate problems and stress and things like that. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what that actually does in the wonderful world of creation, and us creating our own experiences and our own environments and things like that. So basically, our thoughts are really, really powerful, and what we think is what we intend to create. And when we say those thoughts, we give it more power, right? And so if we're giving all these thoughts power, we want to make sure that the thoughts that we give are positive in nature, or aligned with our highest vision of ourselves. And oftentimes when we talk about our problems or our stress, we sit there and we're like, oh, I'm so stressed out about this and this and this, and this is going wrong, and I don't have enough money, or I'm too stressed out with work, or things like that. And what we do is we set up this image for other people that we're complainers. And it doesn't matter what we say or how we say or the things that we're doing to counteract them. If that's the image that we're showing to people, that's the image that they're going to see. And when you're sitting there trying to be the highest vision of yourself, you want other people to see that highest vision through your actions and what you say and how you interact with your world, right? You don't want to be this wonderful person and then have nobody else see it. It's not that we're wonderful people for other people's validation. We're wonderful people for ourselves, but we also want people to have that perception of us. And when we're constantly complaining, we don't allow for a different perception other than, oh, we're complainers, right? So as Alex and I were talking, it came up that when we communicate how we're stressed and what we're stressed about, we need to also talk about our solutions and what we're doing with those things. I'm stressed out about my money right now, but I understand that if I do this, this, and this, I could bring myself out of it. You see, stressing about something and talking negatively about it sets in your mind that that is real, and it's not real. It's not a real stress. You're choosing to be stressed out about it. It's just one of those things that's happening in this world, right? We often come upon times that we're short on money, or we have things that we're doing and we just can't afford it, but we want to because it's what makes us happy. And so we set up these things to stress about, and we create predictions about how things are going to turn out, and it's never ever that way. Things seem rough sometimes, but they always get better. You always pull through because you're never given any experience by the universe that you're not able to handle. And what's the worst that could ever happen to you? You die. And really? Is that the worst that could ever possibly happen to you? No. Because you have an eternal soul. You're a perfect eternal being having a human experience. Should this human experience end, then you continue on being a perfect eternal being. And you go on and move on to do something different. It's just part of change, part of the process. So there's no need to stress out about all the things that we're doing. But when we're working on the perceptions of ourselves and perceptions that other people have of us, we want to make sure that we're saying the things, saying yes, these are being open and honest and saying yes, these are what I'm stressed out about. These are the things that concern me. But also saying, hey, I'm also doing this, and this to help resolve that problem. We need to start looking at our issues positively as opposed to negatively. We need to start talking to ourselves in a positive way as opposed to a negative way. Because the more negative things we say, the more negative things we believe. And for every, one negative thing, it takes five positive things to counteract that experience. So for every one negative experience or every one negative word, it takes five positive words or experiences to cover up and forget about that negativity. So if we're constantly talking about all the negative talk, then we're going to have to start continuously talking about the positives of the situation and turning things into a positive learning experience. Yes, I'm stressed, but how do I work through this stress? This is what I'm doing, and this is how we can be open and transparent with people and let them in a little bit, and also change their perception of who we are. We may not necessarily think that we're complaining about everything. We may not think that we're so stressed out. But if people start coming to you and saying, hey, sounds like you're really stressed, how are you doing? Your attitude is different. You need to kind of take a look back and say, what have I been saying to myself? What have I told myself about this thing that I'm believing it to be true? And once we start thinking critically about that and thinking more positively about our experiences and how we relate to those experiences and how we share those experiences with others, then we can consciously look at our lives and look at if we're actually being the highest vision of ourselves and being who we want to be and who we desire to be, and allowing other people to see that. I'm all about being open and honest with people, because I think being honest with even the darkest parts of us bring new light and new realizations for other people about who and what people are. We're all the same. We all have secrets. We shouldn't. There's no reason to have secrets, but we develop these things that it's kind of, we don't want people to know because we're afraid of what they're going to say or what they're going to think. And never be afraid of what people are going to say or what people are going to think, because it only matters what you say and think about yourself. Other people's opinions are just that, other people's opinions. And you just got to love yourself and accept yourself and work through the things instead of just stressing about things. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't serve you. Maybe it does. If you want to be a stressful, angry, upset person, and you want the world to see you as a stressful, angry, upset person, then go ahead, stress out about it. If the highest vision of yourself is one of love and compassion and caring and calm, cool collectedness, those are just attributes I have for myself. But whatever that highest vision is for yourself, look at is how you're reacting and talking about a situation in line with your highest vision for who you are and who you want to be and who you desire to be. Look internally and come up with that positive language for yourself. Come up and say, you know, I think this way, but it's not serving me. So what can I do to fix this problem? What can I do to fix this situation? And I don't like to call things problems. I don't believe we have problems, because problems become this big thing that is just so overwhelming. I've always called them issues, because issues are things that we can break down and we can deal with one step at a time. And sometimes when things are mounting and everything seems to be falling apart at once, they look like problems. But if you sit down and you look at, okay, what's going on? I have my finances. Here's where I am with my finances. Here's where I want to be with my finances. Here's where I want to be with my social life and my relationships and things like that, and say, okay, so now what do I need to do to get back on track, to get what I need, to get what I want, to get the life that I'm choosing for myself, and have that process and go through that process. And if you need to talk to somebody about that process. But when you're discussing it with people, let them know, hey, I'm going through this process. I'm trying to figure it out. Help me figure it out, and involve people in your life and involve people with what you're trying to do and who you're trying to be as people. Be the light in the darkness. Most people have never seen somebody actually consciously living and consciously working through their issues and trying to be positive about the things that are coming out in their life. And look at the beauty in everything. If you're looking at the beauty in everything and realizing that we're all one, we're all connected, and it's the experience as a whole that matters, not just the little bits of the experience. If it's the experience as a whole that matters, then we start seeing things for what it is and the perfection and the beauty of what it is, and we don't stress anymore. I choose not to have stress in my life because it does nothing for me but make me upset, increase my heart rate, increase my blood pressure, makes me feel sick to my stomach, I get scratchy in my throat. Those are all stress factors and I don't like them. So I choose to be positive about things that stress me out. And that's what I'm just talking about. It's just be positive. Change it around. Change how you communicate things. And if you don't know how to communicate, ask a close friend and say, hey, you know, this is what's going on. I don't know how to work through it. Let's come up with things together. And then when you go talk to other people about that situation, you'll have already had that time to figure out what your solutions are. So never approach a problem without having a solution, because then you just make it a bigger problem. Once you start becoming a part of the solution and finding the inventive, ingenious ways to solve these problems, we human beings are so amazing at solving problems. So use that. Don't just stress out about the fact that there is an issue going on and it's big and it's overwhelming and it's just making you so anxious and you don't know how to deal with it. Just break it down step by step and come up with your solutions. And don't allow that problem and that anxiety to rule your life, because if you allow that problem and anxiety to rule your life, you're not going to be happy. And you're not going to be living in the moment. You're living in the future or in the past or anywhere but where you're at now. And where you need to be at is here. You need to be here in this moment with yourself, going through things one step at a time. Don't ever try and take things on all at once. It doesn't work. And of course it's going to be overwhelming. But be ingenious. Be a human. Use that brain of yours that the universe has given you. It can do amazing things. And if you have questions, email me, ask me. I'm happy to help anybody out with anything that they want to talk about. But yeah, so back to my point. Just look at how you're saying things, who you're saying them to, and make sure that you're always putting a positive perspective behind the things that are worrying you, because you don't want to create that negativity that you're talking about. And don't give the negative thoughts power. Don't let them control and run your life. Allow love and light and peace to prosper in your life and in your heart. And if you come from that place all the time, or at least try to come from that place all the time, then you'll find that stress doesn't bother you as much anymore. And you'll find that you're a happier person and you're more content and enjoyed with life. So that's going to be it for now. Peace, love, and I love you all unconditionally. Have a great day.